What's going on, everyone? It's Adam and Craig. Oh, Craig, you're on the wrong one already. What's going on, everyone? It's Adam and Craig with Grandstand Golf. This is our round two DFS Showdown targets for the 2021 Valspar Championship. Craig, let's just flip over to that leaderboard. We already teased it. What's going on, everyone? Thank you for joining us live. What's up, Robert? What's up, Steven? Uh, yeah, if you're first time joining us, welcome. If you're joining us again, thanks for joining us again. We're going to talk through round one and then make a couple picks for round two here at Valspar.
Yeah, I think we'll be a little bit quicker going through things. I feel like a lot of people are probably paying attention to the NFL draft right now. So, yeah, I mean, early impressions. I feel bad about FOMOing on Keegan Bradley here.
Yeah, so I did that classic thing where I went back after our live show, made one more lineup. I did get Keegan in it, but didn't pair him with the best guys. Got some Mac Hughes, got some DJ, but I do have a couple of DJs, or Keegan, so I got 10%. But the thing I really like to see is Pat and Kazire.
Yeah.
Like 35%
I was gonna say.
I feel like he's good to make the cut. That's all. Like, I don't know if he's gonna have a high finish, but I feel like he's safe to get into the weekend now.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. Yeah, no, what up, Ray? How you doing? Hope your lineups are looking good. Homa is one I feel like I missed out on as well. I'm feeling good. I've got some Griot. Feeling good. I've got some Answer. A lot of.
Yeah.
I feel like my biggest problem right now is I've got a few guys just over par that I really want to see make the weekend.
Yeah, for sure. A lot to still happen. Yeah, I mean, Steven said Schwartzel was a mistake on my part. We make mistakes every week. This is golf. There's so much randomness built into it that, I mean, just roll with the punches, stay positive, and over a long period, we'll figure it out together.
That's why you don't do things like put like 35% on Lanto Griffin.
Yeah, we'll maybe talk about Lanto here in a second. But round one played over par, 0.13, a little bit harder in the AM. Not really any real statistical difference, but cut line projections for tomorrow. This is from Data Golf. 41% -1 looks most likely. Could go to even. Looking at the weather below, a little bit of wind in the afternoon, but unless
Very
it's gusty,
minimal.
I don't think
But
yeah.
if it's leaning anyway, it's going to be worse, I think, in the afternoon.
Yeah, for sure. I think this is usually, Craig, where we ask, what's your biggest cut sweat for tomorrow? What are you worried about for tomorrow? Who are
Definitely
you worried
Lanto.
about?
Actually,
Lanto?
not. Oh, so probably both Lanto and Seifert, because a few of my top lineups have Seifert in them, and so I forget what he's
He
at.
came
He's
in with that double bogey,
plus
right?
one or plus two. But yeah, I definitely want to see those two make it through.
Mine is without a doubt Russell Henley, who just seemed.
Yeah, Henley and Usti would be my two others, but I have a bunch of really high scoring lineups that though will be potentially 6 of 6 pending Seifert and Lanto.
Yeah, I didn't even look through my last, to be honest, that much afterwards after the round completed. My main one is Henley, so that's what I'm worried about. Everyone else is seems to be well in
Yeah.
the negatives, but I think I'm stealing this from another sports podcast. But whatever happened can happen in reverse.
Well,
right?
I totally feel the same way. Like we think that like once these things are locked in, and then we come back the next day and we're like, oh my goodness, like what a reshuffle. Like yeah, like we're halfway to the cut. There's a lot of golf to be played still, and we're only a quarter of the way through the tournament. So don't crown Keegan yet.
Yeah, well, and it's hard. Like guys, if we flip back quickly to that leaderboard, there's probably going to be some guys at the 4 mark that missed the cut for sure. Maybe even one at 5 at the 5 mark, -5 that misses the cut. Like,
What are you picking out Hank Lebioda or Ryan Moore?
I'm not naming names. I'm just saying there's a couple guys that don't really. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it always happens. Inevitably, there's people who fall way off the leaderboard and end up missing.
Yeah, with William Neal here, Scotty Scheffler. He was a fade for me. My fades have turned out really good. I'm just getting lucky, I think, on that. But Scotty Scheffler was. I forget where he finished it. I had to go to daycare, but
he's +2, I believe.
Yeah.
But I don't think I was looking at him. I was thinking about him as a potential pick. I think he actually putted poorly. I don't think he played all that badly. I think he had a bit of a cold putter.
+1, +2, +3. They're all in striking distance.
Oh, for sure.
If their target is -1, I mean, the guys that are out in the afternoon have a better idea of what they need to get to. Those guys can go 4 under tomorrow. Like, come on.
Yeah,
Volatile
scoring. I think the one thing it doesn't. I mean, we saw. I think with some of the names today, it doesn't favor length. So some of these guys who we typically like because of they're longer off the tee, especially. It really isn't going to have any built-in advantage for them. But yeah.
Should we do some picks here, or
yeah? There's a
Gerard,
couple comments that we'll touch on. I think some of them may be relevant as we get through our picks. So we'll get to all the comments I think at the end, because some of them will be addressed along the way.
Sounds good. Okay. Patrick Reed. I'm going up first. 10,100 on DraftKings for round 2. He went out. He was 70, -1, 3 birdies, 2 bogeys. Watched quite a bit of his round. He was in the feature group in the morning, so woke up, threw on Golf TV, and watched a little bit of Patrick Reed this morning. But it's kind of a little bit of a bizarro round, and that's kind of the theme for my picks this today, is that these guys seem to have bizarro rounds for who their profile is. So he won -1.38 putting, 125th in the field. It seemed like he's burning lips all over the place. So just the last point there, he ranked second. This is entire PGA Tour for the entire season. Second on tour in strokes gained putting at +1.1. So if you just, do some quick math, he lost about 2.5 strokes there. So he could have been easily 3-4 under. He also lost he gained around the green, but not great. He is one of the best players of the past decades around the green, but gained on approach better than he has previously. So it's a little bit of a bizarre world. I think his putter comes back to normal, probably in that +1 to 0 range. I would expect. Anything better, that's great. But I think his ball striking is there. I think he'll just kind of continually move up the leaderboard, as he should, tomorrow and through the weekend.
Yeah, you don't expect Patrick Reed to lose over a stroke combined in his short game. So it's a little bit, you have to expect a little bit of regression towards his normal high elite play there. Gerard is saying that I'm outbearding you today. So I'll take it. I think either of us are okay as long as our older brother Kevin is not outbearding us. Then we have to feel like there's something wrong.
Something went drastically wrong in the lab there.
But he also says now we have to make a bet and loser grows a mullet like Cam Smith. I think we already potentially have a mullet bet going. It might involve once we're able to play some real life golf. So stay tuned for that one.
That's a little teaser. That might be on the table already. That's a little teaser.
Yeah. Okay, my first one here, he's been talked about in the chat, Justin Thomas, 10,500. I know he was also my pick coming in, but this is exactly what I'm looking for in a showdown play as well. He was 69, -2. He had an eagle, 3 birdies, 3 bogeys. You look at what he did today. This is the classic showdown play. So he was... third off the tee. There's not as many strokes to be gained off the tee here, but he gained about as much as you can, 1.5 strokes there, 2.5 strokes on approach. He was 5th there. So, the ball striking is awesome. Gained almost a stroke around the green, and he lost over 2.5 strokes putting. 146th in the field. I don't know if you know how many people are in the field, but not a whole lot more than that.
Yeah, not more than that.
So, it has to, the thing I like about it, I think if he, someone, I forget who it was, I think it was William Neal here, was saying that he probably should have shot 5 or 6 under. I absolutely agree. So I was listening to part of it on the radio, caught the very, very tail end of it, on the broadcast, but he was playing very well. His ownership will be lower at a -2 finish than it would have been at a 5 or 6 under finish, So if...
it'll be high tomorrow. I think it'll be high tomorrow.
I think it'll be high, but I think there's a lot of play. There's a lot of people in the low 9s and the 8,000 rate. Like that tournament long, that's where all the ownership is. And a lot of those people went out and played very well. So I think there's going to be a lot of attractive ownership for balanced showdown lineups. So what I am thinking is to do stars and scrubs. But anyway, so JT, last 9 rounds where they've collected strokes gained data, he's gained over 2 strokes on approach. So the ball striking is in a good place.
Every round?
No, that's his average.
Oh, still.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Last 11 rounds, aside from the match play, he's gaining almost 3 strokes around. So his game is in a very good place. He had a cold putter today. JT is one of these guys that can have a cold putter and then have a hot putter the next day. I think we could easily see a very low number from him tomorrow.
Yeah, he came out and he was just firing at pins. His approach play was unbelievable. I agree with everything except for I by no means think he's going to be a sneaky play. It's a matter if he's going to be 25% or 35%.
Oh, see, I don't think he'll be that high. I'm thinking 15, somewhere between 15 and 20%. No?
No. Oh, everyone hold Craig accountable tomorrow.
That's what he is turning it on.
Maybe I'll be wrong. Hold one of us accountable. I don't know.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
Like you said, it's a class. He gained 2 strokes on approach and he lost 2 putting.
I
Like,
think a lot of people don't look too deeply into how these scores happen. They just see a -2 from JT and they see a -7 from Keegan and a -4 from Anthony. They're like, oh man, I can plug in all these guys, Sanjay and Homa and Answer and Anyways,
we'll see.
Rob Hauser is saying it'll be around 23%.
Okay.
Next up.
I said 25 to 35. We'll see. Lanto Griffin, 7,400 on DraftKings. First round, 73 +2, 0 birdies, 2 bogeys. I'm struggling with this one. I'm kind of playing the narrative of his long-term form for this year has been good. This is just, so it is a poor putting round. -1.17 on the greens, 134th. Obviously didn't make a birdie, so he's not making putts. Or on the green, about neutral. On approach, lost there, 124th. It's not good. Gained a little bit off the tee. But basically what I'm looking at is for what he's done for 2021, 34 rounds, not including the Dell match play because we don't have accurate stroke gain data for that. So where we have accurate stroke gain data, he is positive in 23 of those. So that's 2/3 of the time, 67%. He is positive strokes gained. He is positive at least 2 strokes. So he's gaining at least 2 strokes on the field in 12 of those 34. That's 35% of the time. So 1/3 of the time, he's doing really, in these showdown lineups, he's doing really well. 1/3 of the time. It just seems like a price that's too low at an ownership that's probably too low as well. I'm just kind of, the signs weren't there, but I'm just going to go there. It just kind of seems like a gut call. Yeah, I got some stakes on him in tournament longs that I'm going to be cheering for him and hoping it happens, but it's just a shot. I'm taking a shot on Lanto at 7,400.
Yeah, I also think this is a good guy. If you do want to go what I think the stars and scrubs approach, I think Lanto is a fairly good play at 7,400 because I do think his ownership will be pushed down as well.
Yeah, I agree.
So stars and scrubs approach, I think that Viktor Hovland is another good candidate.
You're really, these are bold predictions. A couple of the top 5 guys in the field are going to play well tomorrow. JT and Hovland.
Well, you know what? Here is my defense, because I knew Adam was going to flame me for having both JT and Hovland as picks, but essentially what I'm looking at doing tomorrow, all my lineups are going to be starting at the top. I'm not going to be looking to build balanced lineups because I think balanced lineups are going to be the more popular approach. So I'm not just trying to get picks across the range. I'm trying to look at what I'm doing and then tell you guys about that. So Viktor Hovland to me, 9,600. I think that's a great price first off for him. He's 69 -2, 5 birdies, 3 bogeys. Did it with a poor scoring numbers. So his ball striking numbers were awesome. He gained over 3 strokes combined ball striking, and then he lost over a stroke with his short game. I did like Viktor Hovland's a guy I think we oftentimes bring up. I think he's the perfect example of a classic showdown, a good showdown player because he has the ability to go really low. So you look at his last 41 rounds. So this is going back to the Houston Open. The first time we had fans in a while on a golf course in November. So 41 rounds, he's been positive strokes gained in 36 of them. That's 88%. He's gained over 2 strokes in over 51% of them. And he's gained over 4 strokes in 22% of them. So, a fifth to a quarter of the time, you're getting over 4 strokes gained. That's awesome. That's basically 1 round every tournament that you're getting.
It's like he's one of the best players in the world.
It is like that. And you're getting a great price on him at 96. Last 3 months, approach. JT's number 1 at 1.32. Viktor Hovland is number 2 at 1.28. Third place is a ways behind
Henley.
The two of them. I think it is Henley, but he's basically at like 1 flat almost. So those two are significantly out in front in terms of their ball striking over the past 3 months.
Yeah, I like it.
You're a stud.
Yeah, you don't have to tell me to play Viktor. Quick shout out, Brent Harris, Keegan Bradley, 80-1, round 1 lead. I love it. Nice cash in that. Big thumbs up to you. Also, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you have not yet already.
Imagine you're giving the thumbs up to Brent Harris for his awesome first round.
Yeah. We're passing along to him. Okay, my last one here. I'm going Hughes, Mackenzie Hughes, 6,900. you may think this is a homer play, but I tried to dig pretty deep on this one. And I feel like he's due for, it'll be a good bounce back candidate. So he went 75 +4, 2 birdies, 6 bogeys. How he got there? He minus 2.20 putting, 143rd in the field, minus 1.73 around the green, 148. So let's just pause right there. -2 putting. He's only done that one other time in 28 rounds this year, and that was round 3 at the Century Tournament of Champions. That hasn't happened since like the first couple weeks in January.
That's a bonkers number.
It's crazy. He is an exceptional putter. Around the green, minus 1.73. Coming into the day, he's had 8 straight positive rounds around the green. So he's been super consistent around the green as well, as of late. So those are, I mean, right there, we're looking at 4 strokes he lost. He's probably about even par where he should be if he just had an average day for him. But he could have even gained on the green. That's what he usually does, is he gains on the greens. And then gained on approach. 64th on the approach. That's good. Neutral off the tee, 106. That's fine.
But usually, usually with Mackenzie Hughes, you can get those kind of even numbers on ball striking, and he gains so much with his short game.
Yeah. I don't necessarily think he's going to make the cut or have a serious charge to make the cut, but I think he's a good bounce back to go 3 under, which would be great for a showdown. I mean, that's beating the field by 2-3 strokes.
At 6,900.
At 6,900. That's exactly it. At this price and at no ownership. If you look at his Instagram stories, he was out there on the range grinding. I think he was in the AM field, so he probably got a quick meal.
Adam's always got his birdies out there in the Instagram stories.
I got my birdies. Those shadows were long across the range. He was out there late. He's grinding. He wants to make this cut. I feel like it's a good course for him. I feel like it suits his game. If we're talking about Patrick Reed, this is Patrick Reed light. I feel like Mackenzie Hughes can he can get it done tomorrow.
Yeah. Now, the one thing I would say, someone had mentioned it earlier, maybe Rob Hauser. Yeah, it was Rob. What happened to this being a hard course? And you know, it was over par on the day, but it was not as hard as we expected it to be. There was more scores out there. Potentially, this is because this is usually played in March and we're later and the course plays a bit differently. I think Mackenzie Hughes, the harder this course gets, the better he is going to be. But regardless, you're not going to get short game numbers like that from him in the long term. Like that, those are.
If he's losing 4 strokes combined short game again, like I've lost it. There should be no way that he does that.
I just don't know what to believe in anymore. If that's
I don't even know what to believe. I might just not drink booster juice for the rest of the year. I don't know.
Okay, with that last one here, I'm going Kevin Kisner, 7,000. This one's I think this is a pretty straightforward one. I think he'll attract some ownership, though. I just think it's really good value. So you look at, he was positive across the board in terms of gaining strokes, which is nice to see because he was coming into this week on a slump. He had been negative off the tee in 4 straight rounds. He had been negative on approach in 7 of his last 12 rounds. So to me, I mean, first off, seeing that he essentially gained a full stroke off the tee. He was 9 of 13 fairways, 20. No, I don't have it. But he was top 50 in both fairways hit and in distance. He's not usually, like I was looking over his past few weeks, he's been outside that, I want to say the top 100 in tournaments in terms of his distance, and the accuracy has been ping-ponging all over the place. So to see both of those numbers positive this today, I'm hoping that it means that kind of the slump is over. Kevin Kisner specifically skipped the whole West Coast swing because he wanted to focus on Florida. So I think that he has a good feel for these courses. I think this is kind of a perfect. I don't have any. I kind of bought the slump tournament long, so I'm trying to get in there before I've missed any value on it. That's a little bit my mentality here, but I think you're going to have to find. I think the ownership will be high, so you're going to have to find other plays to partner him with that will potentially have low ownership.
Yeah, I really like I like the pick a lot. I think he'll make my lineups for sure. I think he was one of the last guys we talked about on our show. A couple questions late, and we brought him up kind of as we were kind of just randomly going through the list of guys.
Well, someone had asked, is he a good contrarian play?
And I think we agreed, and he was one of those. I have to check I don't think he made that last minute roster I made, but he was one of those after I left our video. I was like, man, like Kisner is like I
wasn't sold
on
it,
absolutely
and
bounce
I
back.
regret it.
Yeah, but now we got his price
Yeah,
even lower,
yeah.
like substantially lower, 7,000. Yeah, if we can get good Kisner, competitive Kisner at 7,000, even yeah, I like it. It seems like a home run, slam dunk, no brainer.
William Neal, no Connors. I'm still high on Connors. I know that he was only -1 on the day, but I'm cool with that. It was still, I think, a decent round to set him up for the week.
I might regretting putting this on record, but he's my one and done play, and I kind of feel like in terms of DFS, I might be secretly hoping he misses the cut.
Oh, and a good
'Cause
Canadian boy. Oh man, there's just
I have
so much
so
wrong
little of
with
him,
that.
and he is so much ownership. I kind of just want to see the world burn a little bit and like have people. I don't know that, but he's my one and done. So I mean, I'm kind of in the middle. I'm stuck in the
Yeah,
middle.
I think I'm basically. I might even be. No, I forget if I'm 25 or 30%, but I'm basically even weight on him. So it's like
Right.
a lot of those guys, the ownership, and this is
Plus.
kind of what I'm thinking. The ownership from tournament long on that whole 8K range, Kokrak,
Yeah,
Hoffman,
Kokrak for
Palmer,
sure.
Tringali, Griot, Kirk, it's crazy, and they
Yeah,
paid off well enough today that I think that's going to continue. Like I think that ownership is going
answer
to
him.
continue to be heavy. That's why I'm going to be going mostly stars and scrubs.
Yeah, no, I
Couple
agree.
high
I
plays and then just find that value in the 7Ks.
I mean, I forget what JT was, but DJ was I think 11% ish tournament long, like an absurd number for DJ.
Yeah. JT, I want to say is about 16% tournament long, at least in the
Yeah,
in the
I mean,
$1 short game.
that's our players champ.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. So Kokrak, I think Kokrak is a good play. I think he'll be highly owned. You know,
I got Kokrak tomorrow. I like it.
yeah.
I think he was kind of steady
80,
across the
his price
board,
went up a
exactly
bit,
as
89, something like that, I want to say. There's a couple other ones in here. Nope, maybe there is not.
yeah. It's like I don't remember seeing ones that we missed here. Well, we appreciate you guys joining us live. We know there's other stuff going on, so thank you for joining us live. Craig, anything to add here? Please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel. We will be here Friday night, Saturday night as well. Oh,
Last one, Gooch,
Glover.
Glover.
I'm a Glover guy this week.
Yeah,
I'll stick with it. I don't know the
I want
stats.
to
I can look them
say
up.
Glover had a better day than Gooch did today, so ownership might be higher on Glover than on Gooch. But I think I potentially will play both. I haven't
Yeah,
made my lineups yet, so I think
minus
both are
two
fine
plus
plays as well.
two, -2/+2, but Gooch did lose about 2 strokes on the greens. I think Glover was just -2, 2 birdies, all pars. Like it was pretty boring. So it's good for bogey free, but that's not always sustainable.
Yeah, William Neal, Kokrak, the one. So I didn't see a ton live. I had to listen to a lot on the radio, but one of the ones I did see live was that lip out putt that Kokrak had.
Oh,
That was a brutal,
yeah.
brutal lip out.
It was like right in the cup and
Yeah.
out.
Anyways, appreciate it, guys. Thanks for coming out. We will
Yeah.
see you tomorrow. Although we potentially may be doing a record and push it out. But if you see the thumbnail, we'll be here. If not, just look out for a showdown video.
We'll put it on Twitter either way.
Yep. Take care, guys.
All right. Yeah.